morning guys. So this is posture 22 and it's Gomukhasana or cow face pose, and I don't really know why it's called cow face pose. I've never really known. You don't do anything special with your face, but it is, there it is, cow face pose, Gomukhasana. And this is there's lots and lots of levels to it, lots of versions to it, but in the way I'll show you, it's a lovely feeling at the very top of your hips, and it's a great one for me. I love it because I get really tight shoulders, especially I think from carrying the baby around in the sling. I guess part of the problem is she's not a baby anymore, she's basically a toddler and I'm still carrying her in the sling. So that's probably why I've got sore shoulders. So I get tight shoulders from that, and this is a great one for creating equal pressure on the shoulders and on the tops of the arms and just easing out any aches and pains you have up there. So it's also a good one for anyone who's hunched over a desk or sitting at a chair at a desk all day. And it's also a lovely chest opener. So I use this a lot in our summer flows. I actually start it maybe end of spring, early summer, and then flow it all the way through the summer flows, because summer is all about the heart and opening the chest and opening the heart out. So this is a great one for them. I tried it in the class this week, so anyone who came to class this week would have tried it. And I'm going to show you a little trick which I think is fun. And it was mixed reviews in the class this week as to whether it was fun or whether it was just ridiculous. So we'll try it. I'm going to show you basically how you get from one side to the other side without moving your feet. But I will also show you how to just come into it normally as well. So Gomukhasana, as in lots of postures, one of the best ways, easiest ways to come into it is from your down dog. So if you have just done your sun salutations, on your last down dog, rather than holding it for 5 breaths, you're going to bend your right knee and bring it up between your hands, and then drop the top of your right foot onto the mat. You're then going to bend your left knee and bring it up, tuck it up behind that right knee, and drop that left foot so that your knees are basically crossed. And then you've got options. I'm going to turn around so that you can see. You can hopefully still hear me. So your knees are crossed. Now in the true posture, the Ashtanga posture, your ankles would be together, and you come and you sit on your ankles. Now for me, I can do it, but I actually feel I gain more from doing a very, very basic version of it, which is creating some space between your feet and sitting back down in that gap. So that version is actually the beginner's version of Gomukhasana. But for me, I feel like I gain an awful lot more from sitting in that space. I can really feel my hips opening. And it's an example of when you're doing postures in yoga, there's a temptation to really push to get to the very furthest level that you can get to, get as complicated as you can, as pretzel-like as you can. And actually, sometimes it's best to stick at wherever your level is, and you will gain more from a posture by doing that, rather than concentrating so much on pushing yourself. So wherever's comfortable for you, either on your heels if you can manage it and you feel like you're gaining something from it, try sitting between the gap between your feet as well and see if it feels different and more beneficial. The other option is, so there's an intermediate, and that would be to sit on one heel. So you've got one heel behind you and you've got one leg out to the side. So whichever one feels most comfortable for you. Like I said, for me, it's sitting in the gap between my feet. And the thing to remember in this posture is that your knees are stacked. So one knee is on top of the other. So that's the placement of your legs, so wherever's comfortable for you. And the next thing you're going to do is interlace your fingers behind your back. So it might be helpful to have either a strap with you or a tie, or you could even use the tops of your jumper. So I'm going to come closer to the camera so you can see what I mean. So the idea is to interlace your fingers or grab hold of your fingers behind your back on the opposite side of your legs. And for some people that's just not accessible. It might be that it's not accessible at the beginning of the practice, but that after you've done maybe an hour of yoga, you might feel a little bit bendier, a little bit stretchier, and you might be able to do it then. So if you can't quite reach your fingertips, if you hold a strap in the top hand and grab hold of it in the bottom hand, then that gives you that pressure, that feeling of equal pressure on your arms, without putting any undue strain on your shoulders. The other option, if you don't have a strap, is if you grab the top of your t-shirt and the bottom of your t-shirt and just pull, then that will also give you that feeling of equal tension in your arms. So that's the goal. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to come back to my mat and show you. So if your feet are your knees are stacked, you're sitting in whichever position is comfortable for you. You're going to extend your spine and just sitting nice and tall and straight. And then on your inhale, you're going to bring, so if your right leg is on the top, you're going to bring the left arm around you on your inhale. And bring your right arm up and drop it. So that you're either holding your fingers behind you at your shoulder blades, or you've got your strap or your t-shirt. And you're just going to stay here for 5 long breaths. So in this posture, remembering to engage your core and flex your feet so that your toes are pointing forwards. Your knees are stacked and you're really pulling on either your fingertips or your strap so that you're creating equal pressure in your arms. And you've got a soft gaze ahead. And when you've done 5 long breaths in this is the bit that you either can do or you can't do, or you find funny or you don't find funny. So mixed reviews in the class this week. You're going to release your hands and bring them either side of your front of your knees. And then you're going to rock up so that you're on your toes and then stand up. So you're now standing with crossed legs. And then you're going to walk your hands all the way around you, anti-clockwise, back to where you started. So keeping the feet completely still, completely flat on the mat. You're going to walk around. Don't move your feet, just swiveling on your toes, walking around, all the way around, back to where you started, and then drop back down. And you'll now find that you are in Gomukhasana on the opposite side without moving your legs. It's just a nice way to flow rather than having to do another down dog. It's a bit of fun, I think. And just a nice way to flow through rather than doing another sun salutation. So now you're in Gomukhasana on the opposite side. So your left knee will be on top of your right knee, and you're in whichever position you were comfortable in. And then on your inhale, you're going to lift your left arm and drop your hand behind your shoulders, behind your shoulder blades, and then bring your right arm behind you and grabbing hold of your fingertips. And you're going to do the same that you did on the opposite side. So engaging your toes, making sure your toes are flexed and pointing forwards. Your knees are stacked. Your core is engaged. You've got a nice long straight spine. Soft gaze ahead of you. And you're creating equal tension in your arms. So you're pulling either on your strap or your fingertips. And you might find that one side is more capable of grabbing your fingers. You tend to have one side that's stretchier than the other side. So you might want to strap on one side and not the other, but just try it. And then when you're ready, release. And there you go, you're done, Gomukhasana. And so From here you could either roll out and step back into your down dog or a high plank, any position that you feel your body wants to go into after that. It's a big shoulder stretch, so you might just want to give your arms a little bit of a shake either side, whatever you feel comfortable doing. And I will see you again tomorrow for your next posture. Okay.